Following is a presentation of Main Street Media.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into another fantastic edition of Mornings on Main Street. I'll be taking you through this great adventure this morning. We have some really cool stuff to talk about. Miss Cheap will join us at 7:30 this morning to talk about all things cheap with her because she's awesome, so she'll join us then. And then we have a lady who's written a fantastic children's book right here, lives right here in Middle Tennessee, will join us at 7:10. And at 7:20, I love community theater. I love community theater. I think it brings a lot of people together. It brings the community together. So we'll talk about an event happening at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson, a really cool play that I want you guys to know about. Then at 7:40, we'll head up to Portland. They got a big event happening on Saturday, and also a really cool thing where about spending money in Portland at the shops and enjoying the Christmas spirit and having a lot of fun. So we'll have that for you today. Another fun and packed show that's going on. As always, this time of the show, let's bring in the guy who works harder than anybody. He's the James Brown of Main Street Media, and that is the intern. Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. How's it going?
I'm going fantastic. How's life with you?
It's going really well. I appreciate that intro. That was really nice.
I just wrote it on the fly, man. I just right on top of my head.
Oh, that's all. It must be why you're so good at freestyle rapping.
Yeah, world champion. You've got another back. You've moved again. Yesterday, you were in your parents' basement.
Yep.
Now you're in another undisclosed location. Where are you?
So the hostages keep moving me. Not sure where I'm at.
No, do you mean the hostage takers?
Hostage takers. Yeah, sorry.
If the hostages are moving you, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, if we have that much leeway, we should probably just get out.
Right. If they're moving you around, do you have a plant back there? I can't see.
It's Old Faithful.
It is. Then you got to be close because that's Miss Shelley's plant.
Right. Correct. I am. And we'll keep dropping hints, and then one day you'll find out.
Okay, so that's 3 different shows in a row, 3 places you have moved around. So, hey, Judy says good morning to the intern.
Hey,
can you pop her message up there, intern?
I would be more than happy to do that.
Look at that. Thank you, Judy. You just made his day.
You did.
That's good, intern. I'm proud of you. And then Adam Cash says good morning. Can you pop Adam up there too? Look at that. There's nothing you can't do, intern.
And then here you go, Joe.
And then boom. I like that, man. You work so hard behind the scenes over there. Everything that you do. Lettuce, if I can do this correctly. Boom. Is that it? Is it up?
Yes, sir.
Today's latest edition of Main Street Nashville, the E edition. Let's go to mainstreetmedia.com and then you could sign up for it, get sent to your inbox every morning, get the app on your phone. It's inexpensive. It's fantastic. You get all the information and we'll show you why up to date. Look, last night, National Christmas Tree, Nashville all aglow. Vivian Jones with a nice story about National Christmas Tree. And I love this picture. My computer does not do it justice, but the picture you're seeing right now Man, really cool. Larry McCormick, I gotta tell you what, he is a fantastic, and I'm gonna call him a photojournalist because that's exactly what he does. And great picture and great Christmas tree. Nice turnout last night. Nice weather for that. So that is really cool. Other stories today in the paper. This is something. Now, yesterday on the show, we had Josh from Brooks Healing Recovery Center down in Murfreesboro and talking about the dangers of opioids. Look at this. HCA Healthcare last week announced it collected a record-breaking 15,000 pounds of unused and expired medications. We had actually Josh Floyd on from Brooks Healing Center to tell us about how deep the opioid crisis is. And look at this. I mean, 15,000 pounds of unused and expired medications, exceeding last year's record by nearly 2,000 pounds. That is amazing. So that's one of the stories you can read this morning in the e-edition of Main Street Nashville. I was like, we always have to bring you the positive and things that are going on around our community. Here's another one for you. Portland World War II veteran receives a gift of home. Bonnie Fusel with the story. Saturday, November 20th, World War II veteran Billy Bradley gifted a home from Building Homes for Heroes. The young man lost his home and all of his possessions in a house fire in May since he's been living with his granddaughter. And so Lowe's approached Building Homes for Heroes. They learned of Bradley's situation. Lowe's became the primary provider, and other sponsors, Advanced Auto Parts, Yellowwood, and Billy got himself a home. So I love the picture there. Really cool. So God bless you, sir, for what you've done for our country, and glad you're back in a brand new house. That's fantastic. All right. So another thing, I'll talk every morning about this day in history, what they have in the national banner. This is 40 years ago. And the top story in the paper, authorities puzzled by Natalie Wood's death. And this is 40 years ago. And I just watched a documentary the other night about the controversy surrounding how she died. And her sister even wrote a book that came out last summer about, even 40 years later, all that happened with that. So it's really cool to read that and see and go back in time. And then if you go down here, they have the weather for today. This is 40 years ago. Looks a lot of fun. 100% chance of rain and thunder showers this afternoon. Good times back then. All right, so that's the paper today, the e-edition of the Main Street Nashville. All right, so here's something else for you guys. It might have gone unnoticed yesterday, but anytime I can get a Larry Woody story in here, I'm going to do it. Larry Woody writing, report Fairground Speedway to get NASCAR Cup race. My friends, this is huge, right? So the NASCAR Champions Week is in Nashville. It begins today, 3 days. They'll crown the sport's 3 series champions. This is a big deal. This is a big story. This is the fair, not the Super Speedway in Lebanon. We love that place. This is the fairgrounds downtown. On a story posted on a racing website yesterday reads, Nashville Mayor John Cooper and Bristol Motor Speedway officials have reached a deal in principle in which they'll bring a NASCAR Cup Series race back to Nashville's Fairgrounds Speedway. This would be simply fantastic. It's because the Speedway will be taken over and operated by Speedway Motorsports, the same company that earlier this month purchased National Super Speedway. Could you imagine a Cup race at that historic Speedway? I hope it happens because it's a fantastic Speedway. It's a fantastic part of the history of Nashville. They've been racing there for more than 100 years. So that'll be really awesome when that happens there. All right, so one more story in turn before we get back to get the show rolling this morning. And I thought this is really cool. We'll stop the screen. I'm going to share the screen again because I'm getting good at this. Devin O'Day taught me well with this. All right, so great story here that's in today's Ashley Perham. She does such a great job writing. So local artist puts Nashville on the big screen with a Roku screensaver. So if you get, we all have Roku, and you see this. I did not know this. And then right there, it's the Batman building and a few other things. And the way she gets into the story is fantastic about it. You just finished binging your comfort sitcom for the 4th time in your Roku. Go to the kitchen, come back, and your screen is TV's on this, the screensaver. Kyle Jones, the designer of a Roku screensaver, is a Nashville native and put the building in the skyline as a tribute to his hometown. Look at that. Fantastic. I didn't even notice it, and there it is. And this screen's on all the time because I binge every single show that is out there. So well done, Ashley, and good job on that as well. All right, intern, we're off and rolling this morning. All right, we come back. Great story for you. I'm always fascinated by people who write books, and the process of writing a book is not easy. The book probably itself is like, hey, I can write a book, but then putting it all together is not easy. Because once you get it done, I think it's great. So we have a guest coming on next who wrote a really cool children's book. So join us next. We're off and running. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Well, I came up with the name. We threw around some ideas, but I just, some people at the beginning said that they thought cheap had a sort of negative connotation, but I didn't. I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want it to be something that was like, a certain lifestyle that I was promoting. I wanted it to be that you could save money, but you could still have a quality life and have a good time.
For the same reason a beagle chases rabbits, it's in my blood. I started reading newspapers, Lydia, before I could read. When I was a little kid in Crossville growing up, my mom taught me to read at about 5 years old, so I would read the Crossville Chronicle, our hometown paper, and it was so exciting I'd wait on Thursday morning for the Chronicle to arrive. I've been fascinated by newspapers all my life. Since I was 5 years old, that's all I wanted to do.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Off and running this morning, a fun time that's going on. We're efforting Miss Janice because somebody sent the link to Janice, who's coming on with the talk about her book next, but misspelled Gmail, and that would be myself. So I don't know how I did that, but the intern caught it, and then so once we get her the link, we'll put her on. And we'll have her this morning here briefly. Again, fun show for you. Come up at 7:20. We'll talk to Susan Walsworth. She's the director of Miracle in Bedford Falls. It's a play that's happening at the historic and iconic Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson. And at 7:40, we'll take you up to Portland. 7:30, Miss Cheap will join us, too, with all of her latest things that are going on around Middle Tennessee to save you money. She's fantastic. Before we bring Janice on here in a moment, I don't know if you saw the reports. We always talk a lot of sports here, but evidently – the Notre Dame head football coach, Brian Kelly, is going to LSU to be their head football coach. And I don't want to ruin your morning, but they're paying him $15 million a year to do that. So we should all reevaluate our careers and be college football coaches because they're making a fortune doing that. So, all right. So, intern, we have Janice.
Yes.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Sorry about that. I misspelled Gmail when we sent you the link. So, just
that happens. I get it.
All right. So the book is called The Star That Lost Its Twinkle. Tell me about this great book.
Well, it's a cute take on the Christmas story. And what I really wanted to accomplish was to give kids a story that will lead them to the Bible to read the Christmas story themselves. But this is an adaptation, if you will, and it's let's see. I'm sorry, I'm a little.
I got you. It's I'll read what the thing. Lucas is a grandson of the most famous star of all time. He's already the brightest star at school, but slowly starts to lose his twinkle because he is prideful and isn't taking care of himself. His parents are worried. Doctors are baffled. Lucas realizes that he can't do this by himself and asks God for help. God answers his prayer, and Lucas gets a special opportunity that changes the world. Is that a pretty good analysis of the book?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I worked at a large church in Nashville in the children's ministry for 16 years. And so that meant a lot of Christmas programs. And during one of the programs, we had 3 little stars, and they had foam stars on their heads in the program. And one of them, their hat kept falling off. And so he'd pick it up, put it back on, he'd fall off again. And so it happened, like 3 or 4 times. And finally he just left it on the ground. And which was funny. And when I was sitting there, and it just struck me, the star that lost its twinkle. And that was 20 years ago. And
Wow.
life was busy. I was raising 5 children. And just recently, a couple years ago, I started working with a friend who's a local author also. And she just inspired me to do this. I thought it was not possible, honestly. And
Right.
she just showed me that it is possible. And you set your mind to it, you can do it. And that's really the whole message of my book, is to not give up. And I really want to give kids hope, because I think in this day and age they need that.
Yep.
Encouragement, and then a good message. It's a Christmas story, and it's just a different take on it. And I'm not changing the Bible at all. It's a totally different perspective from the star. And it's just I love the story, and I've enjoyed this whole process. It's been wonderful. It's been a whirlwind, but it's been great.
I'm sure. Now we've got the Amazon link up on the screen right now that's doing that. And you said something, and you stopped earlier. You said one of the reasons you did this because you want kids to start reading the Bible, which I think is incredible. And I think right there that you sold me on the book with that right there. Why is that important for you, Janice?
I think it's, kids are not being directed to that nowadays. And at the end of every book, I put the actual Bible story from the Bible.
Wow.
So that, they can read the rest of the story, so to speak, the true part of it, because my part is not true, obviously, but it's a fun take that will point them to the true story. And to me, that's the most important part.
I love the cover of the book. I mean, there's a star who's obviously things aren't going well. Just the look of disdain on his face there. The illustrator. Do you know the illustrator?
No, I searched and searched for the perfect illustrator, because I wanted the illustrations to be amazing.
Right.
And he is from East Tennessee. His name is Jack Foster. And I've never met him in person. I've just, of course, texted back and forth, emailed, and he is phenomenal. He is a very gifted artist, and I'm so glad I found him. I've got more ideas coming. I've got another book I'm planning on hopefully publishing in February.
Oh,
yeah.
Do we have a title for this book?
It's Lorelei the Firefly.
Look at you, Janice. I like this.
It's an adaptation of Noah's Ark. So that's becoming my favorite. I really have enjoyed seeing that one come to life.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look, I read the reviews. I mean, you're getting 5 stars for your book here, The Star That Lost Its Twinkle. Do you go read these reviews?
Yes, I do. It's inspiring, and it's exciting to work on something for so long and have it so well received. I've talked to teachers, I've talked to old friends, new friends, grandparents, great-grandparents are buying this book for to share with their grandkids and students. And, so it's amazing to see it come to life, and it's amazing to see that people are embracing it like they are.
Well, we think you are amazing, Janice, and we love this. And when your next book's out, please come back on with us, and let's help promote that and spread the good word of the gospel, because as we know, we all need that, don't we?
Yes. I appreciate you having me on, Joe.
You bet, Janice. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right, Janice Blanchett with the book, The Star of the Lost, It's Twinkle, and the great review she's got there on that. It's really fantastic. And another example of somebody who's making it happen. That's like my theme for 2022 here in a month. It's just make things happen and make them happen in a good way. Thank you, Janice. All right, we'll take a break. We'll tell you about another cool thing that's going on in our city that you need to be a part of. We'll have more of that when we come back. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Ryan. I'm the co-owner of Zaxby's along with Lee Oliver. This is a place that mamas and daddies can be really comfortable to send their kids to for a first job. It's a place that you can have fun, feel really good about the place that you work, get paid well, have a good time. If you want to apply, you can go to applynow.com and Zaxby's will be on there. We love it when we get some great folks here at Zaxby's.
Where's that dog going? I know where he's going. He's going to the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson, where this week they have a brand new play called The Miracle in Bedford Falls, and we're honored to have the director of the show with us on this morning, with us on Mornings on Main Street, Susan Walsworth. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you, Joe?
Good. It's good to see you. I know you're so busy, and I really appreciate you taking time to do this because I think community theater is the glue of communities, and it's really important that we spread the good word of what you guys are doing. So thank you for doing this.
Yes, I totally agree with that, especially after the year and a half we had when we didn't have any live theater. Having it back and being able to bring this beautiful story to life has just been a blessing.
All right, so Miracle in Bedford Falls, we all know It's a Wonderful Life. And explain for those out there how different this is, maybe not so different than what we see with the iconic movie.
It's really the script is very similar. The story is the story of George Bailey and his journey and what happens. And it is just a beautiful story. It's one of the most beloved Christmas movies of all times. So in Miracle in Bedford Falls, we get that story that everyone loves so much. And then we add some music and some dance numbers and just hopefully make people realize that life is precious. And, you know, it really is great to be alive.
How do you balance? We're going to talk about you for a second. How do you balance a full-time job and then directing, and then it's opening week? I mean, there's a lot going on in your part. Are you getting any sleep, Susan?
No, not at all. I work as a nurse full-time. So I do that during the day. And then, like I said, I leave straight from here, go to the theater, at the theater till 10:30, depends on the night, but, late and then get home and try to get things together for the next day. So Tech Week is usually a very tough week, but we are all making it through, and it's paying off. The show it really is coming together.
Opening night is Thursday, and I go there to the theater. I've seen plays there. It's a great setting. It's a great everything for community theater there. What's the best part for you? I know as a director, you want it all to come together, but do you ever take time to sit back and just take a deep breath?
Yeah, for sure. Last night was one of those nights. It was really great. I felt like at the rehearsal last night, everything really came together. And you have those moments where you just say, wow, we really did it. And I have an amazing cast. And I have an amazing group of people that work with me on the technical team. And, just seeing that story, there's several moments that, will bring you to tears. It's beautiful. I just hope everybody can come out and support us. Like I said, we open on Thursday, like you said. We run for 3 weekends. And it's a great deal. $32. You get a live show as well as dinner.
Yes.
And it's a great place to go and, just spend your time and support local theater.
I can attest, because from what I've gathered, now we did a story when they did Mamma Mia back in September, that Kevin Raymond, the director who's fantastic like yourself, was telling me that the Larry Keaton Theater is the only dinner theater left in Nashville. So
yes.
It's all this is perfect setup, and you get the great dinner, get to watch the play. So there are not many dinner theaters left in around here. And then, so I'm so glad, Susan, you guys are keeping this going, because it truly is, I think, the perfect evening.
It really is. It's a lovely environment. Like I said, the show will just tear at your heartstrings, but also bring a smile to your face. It was written by a local, Mark Cabanis. And so that's really exciting too, to be able to showcase somebody, that is from here.
Right. That's good. Let me ask you this. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but who gets to play? There's a lot of pressure, the Jimmy Stewart role, right? Mm-hmm. That's not, who's playing that character?
His name is Nathan Fink, and he is, you look at him and he just brings, you almost see Jimmy Stewart. He reminds you that, like, you kind of see him in him sometimes, some of his nuances, and it's very exciting. He does a great job.
That'd be a lot of pressure to do that. Susan, now your background real quick. How did you get started in theater?
Well, I got started, you mentioned Kevin earlier. We actually met at Opryland many, many years ago. But then I just kind of quit doing it. And about 11, 12 years ago, my brother, who's in local theater, talked me into auditioning for a show. And so I've been doing shows since 2009 here locally. I was in Mamma Mia that you were mentioning earlier. So I kind of went from on stage to directing pretty quickly. But yeah, it's one of those things that it just makes you feel good. It just, being on stage and being in an audience. I love watching theater. I love watching other people put on theater. And I really hope that people will come and support us at the Larry Keaton Theater. Absolutely.
Last question before I go. When somebody goes to see this play, what do you hope they take away from it when they walk out of there?
I really just want them to know that life is precious, and we have that it's precious, and you should enjoy every minute to the fullest.
Beautiful. That's a great way to put it. Susan, thank you. Miracle in Bedford Falls starts this Thursday at the Larry Keaton Theater. Yes. We'll have all the information for everybody. Please, I think you guys do a fantastic job there at the theater. I'm going to go see it, and I hope everybody else does too as well. Susan, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'll see you there.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Susan Walsworth, the director of Miracle in Bedford Falls, starting this Thursday at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson. Look, you get a dinner and you get to play. I mean, it is a fun night. And those shows, my friends, they sell out. So get your tickets. Enjoy a really sweet and cool, nice night out. All right, we come back Tuesday, 7:30. Who else? It's the iconic, the legendary, the very popular Miss Cheap joins us next right here. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Let me reset here. As we do every, I get so excited. As we do every Tuesday at 7:30, we bring on Miss Cheap, who joins us. Miss Cheap, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
It's good to see you. This has got to be, this whole season, Christmas and everything from now until January. Is that your favorite time of year?
It is. There's so many fun Christmas things to do. And now that I have these grandchildren, I'm even more excited to do these things.
You'd be the perfect grandmother because you know where everything is going on and what's happening. I'm now going to dub you as the grandmother of this show because you know what we do and where we need to go. So thank you for doing this. All right. So Miss Chief, let me start this out. There's been a lot of content. I know your column comes out today. And I'm going to put it up and share everybody. But there's been a lot of consternation about what's going on at Opryland. Have you heard this?
Yes, I have. And, going to Opryland Gaylord, to the resort is something my daughters and I, and we take the grandchildren, we go every year, and we figured that we could go on a weeknight and go and do an entire evening of fun without spending any money, because there's so much of the country Christmas at Opryland that's free. And so if you plan it properly, you can go and have a great night. You could also spend a lot of money out there.
Exactly.
This year, for the first time, they have they've changed it, the way the access. It's an access issue. So on weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can't just walk up to the hotel on those evenings and go in and enjoy it unless you have a ticket for one of the events that is ticketed, or if you have a room reservation. During the day up until 2:00, and on Monday through Thursday nights, you can go out there and just roam around and enjoy all the things that they have that are free, which is a lot. There's a lot to do.
Yes.
But this is the first time that they've really had to restrict it, and it's because they've just got so many people who want to come. I think 1 million people go between now and the end of the year to the hotel to do something. I mean, to do some event or just to enjoy the lights.
Right. Here's an email we got from Opryland this morning because you saw you were coming on the show. It says, effective now through January 2nd for capacity management and to ensure an enjoyable environment for our overnight guests and event ticket holders on peak dates, weekends, like you were talking about. Resort campus access is restricted every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday starting at 2 p.m. Room or ticketed event reservation will be required to enter after 2 p.m. But then it says, we invite and welcome visitors without room or event reservations to arrive on site prior to 2 p.m. on weekends and enjoy the rest of the afternoon into the evening to see the decor and lights or to visit anytime through Monday through Thursday. And if you listen to some media reports, Ms. Chief, it's as if Opryland saying stay away, which is not the case.
It's not the case. And I mean, it is more restricted than it's ever been. But, again, they're trying to keep their numbers, within a capacity that they can manage. And I mean, I understand it, but
Yes.
I would hate to go out there and get in all that traffic and go and walk up to the hotel and be turned away, which is what will happen
Right.
if you go on the weekend nights. But, there's so many, let me tell you about some of the things people could do if they go Monday through Thursday, which is what I would do even if it weren't for that access, just because
Sure.
it's less crowded. And with these children, it's more fun to go when it's not so crowded. But the first thing I would do is I would park over at Opry Mills, because you can park free over there and walk over to the hotel. It's a 5-minute walk. It's not bad. And if you park at the hotel, the self-parking over there, do you know how much that is? Take a guess.
$32.
It is $32. How'd you know that? Did you pay it?
No, 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 I'm not paying that. That was a guess, Miss Cheap.
Well, you're exactly right. It's $32 for self-parking or $40 for valet parking. So first thing is, go over there to Opry Mills, and there's plenty of parking over there, and you can walk over. Then there's so much to do. They have 4 million lights now at the resort, and it's inside and outside. And one of my favorite things is that you can go, there's an outdoor nativity that's a life-size nativity out in front of the Magnolia lobby. And they have music piped in, and then they have the nativity story that you can listen to the whole story of Jesus's birth while you walk around the nativity. I mean, it's just beautiful. And the lights, on a pretty night, it's really wonderful.
I think it's beautiful. And again, I'm glad we get to read that, because you're still invited over there. And here's the thing, Ms. Cheap, if I'm paying good money there on a weekend to do all that, and people are coming, I paid money for that. I mean, so I don't blame them for enacting a policy here, which is, which is fine. I mean, you're spending money and that's what you spend money for. But again,
it's a little confusing to people. And I hate that, because I'm sure that there will be people who don't understand it and think that they're denying access, completely, but they want people to come. I mean, this is their season. This was once called one of the most Christmassy hotels in the country. I mean, they've got a lot going on. One of the other really cool things, have you ever seen the water and light shows that are in the atrium?
Oh,
and
yes.
They have it all synchronized with Christmas music and the colored lights and all. It's every night from, I think they have it at 6, 7, 8, and 9, and you can go to any one of those shows for free.
I like this in your story. It's every Tuesday in Main Street. The National Public Library is a holiday movie series that takes place at 3:30 on Wednesdays in December. I think we undervalue, Ms. Cheap, our public libraries in Nashville, at least from my perspective. And I think this is a good event that you've got here today in the paper.
Right. And my holiday guide has, I think it's more than 30 things that people could do between now and the end of the year that are free. And that's one of them, the movie series there. And there's just a lot of things. For next week, I'm going to write about Tuba Christmas, so stay tuned for that. We're going to really talk about that. But there's just all kinds of things. A lot of the churches that last year weren't able to have in-person services of lessons and carols and the Messiah and different programs, musical programs, most of them are back. And it's, there's still some that are not taking place. I guess they had to plan far enough ahead that they weren't sure. But there's so much to do. And, I love it that so much of it is free.
Yeah, I'm just going, I don't know where to go next. I'm reading all the stuff you got going on here. There's so much that's happening that I'm so glad we've got you on. Let me talk about the one that I just went through a second ago. A lot of people don't know that we have an agriculture museum here in Nashville, and they have a Christmas open house on Thursday from 10 to 2 at the Ellington Agricultural Center.
it's always a very nice event, and they have some Christmas trees there, and it's a really neat little museum that a lot of people don't even know about. But they're going to have refreshments, and then the people will be there who organize the memorabilia that they have in there, and they can tell you all about it. But there's some farm equipment, and there's all sorts of things. It's a fun little museum. They have a big beehive that you can see, and you can observe how the bees congregate in there.
Right. I think it's great. Also, I didn't see this. I just skimmed through it. Bass Pro Shops, man, they've transformed their place, and you get a free photo with Santa. I might go do that. I might take the intern out there.
Well, take the intern out there. That goes the whole season through January 1st or 2nd. I'm not sure, but it's they transformed that whole area into like a Santa Wonderland, and they have games, and they have the pictures with Santa, and you can sign up for those ahead of time so that you don't have to stand in line. There's a way to do that at Bass Pro's website. But another good thing, tonight is the lighting of the green, I think at Lipscomb, and that's a really good one too. There's plenty to do. And I've tried to highlight, each one and give it a little bit of description so that people know what they can plan on.
Putting a list like this together, is it time consuming? I mean, are there things that you've known that are traditions? Then you got to search out stuff that's, the first year that's going on. How long does it take you to compile this list?
Well, it takes a good while because there's so many details, and so many of the organizations that are having free things to do are not, they don't have like a PR person, and they're not used to dealing with the media. And a lot of times I'll call and say, so what time is the concert that you all are going to have at the church? And sometimes the church secretary will say, well, I'm not sure, but just say 6. And I said, no, I can't just say 6. People are coming, but there are a lot of ways for me to have errors in that, and I don't want to have any errors. And so it's a lot of double checking to be sure that the time is right, the website's right, the phone number, and the description of the event. And then this year to be sure that these are in person, because sometimes you can gloss over it and it's virtual, and that's not what we're looking for.
I hope we never have any more virtual Christmases as long as I live and all that. It's funny, you talk about calling places up. When at my other job, I'd call up and say, hey, this is Joe from Channel 4. And you hear this, I'm like, no, I'm calling from Good News. I want to get good news and promote you. And they're like, oh, okay. And then, so I had to battle. So I know what you're going through. Like, I just say 6 and all that. That's just funny. The list is detailed. It's at today's Main Street in Nashville on the e-edition. There it is right there. Log on, see it. And there's much, much, much more stuff there that we didn't talk about. So your list is great, Ms. Cheap, and I think you do such a wonderful job.
Well, so one more thing, tomorrow is the official kickoff of the penny drive for Second Harvest.
Yes.
We've talked about it on the show before, but I just want people to know that if they're looking for a holiday event, a holiday way to help the community, that this is a really easy one, and it's a lot of fun, and every penny counts. So it's not something that's a big ask. It's an easy way for kids to get involved and see that they can help, and for anybody in their office or church or scout troop or whatever to participate.
Do you know exactly where because it's the cup, it's usually up front by the register. Do you know how many places that you are, or is it just search out and see if the cup is up there? How's this work?
I just don't, there's no way to know. And people are making their own containers, which is really easy to do. You just have to have a jar and put a label on it. But it's something that you can, we can do it virtually too. If you go to secondharvestmid10.org penny drive, you can donate there. And that was very effective last year because it's so easy. Yes. But it's I think you can donate as little as $5. I mean, it's not something that that you've got to be $1,000 contributor to make a difference. But it's, they estimate that 400,000 people in Middle Tennessee are at risk of hunger. And I mean, that's just staggering to me. That's just not right.
I'm with you. Absolutely. What's the website again? Second Harvest?
secondharvestmid10.org/penny drive.
/penny drive. We'll keep promoting it, Ms. Cheap, and hopefully we'll make a nice little dent in that problem that we have, which I hate. Thank you so much every Tuesday for doing this, and I'll see you next week.
Okay, thanks so much. Talk to you then.
Thank you so much. Stay cheap. Yeah, she got it in there. All right, we'll come back. We're going to head up to Portland, Tennessee. They've got another cool event that's going on that we want you guys to know about and be a part of. That's all next right here on Mornings on Main Street.
came in, one of the things we put in is if you walk around the concourse, you'll see there's an area that's a Delta Dental Kids Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been there pretty much since the Preds opened for business. And so that's one of the things. But, you know, if you look at, in our case, how do we match up with charities that have value across the state? And then the other thing is how do we match up with partners that are true community partners? And if you look at what the Preds give back to the community and the things they do for kids all over, how do you match up with a better partner in the Nashville area than the Preds? I mean, it's hard to beat them, really. And entertainment-wise, it's hard to beat them just showing up to the game. I mean, it's almost an assault on your senses. It's Vegas and everything else rolled into one with lights and cameras and everything going. So,
but you've got such a good partnership with them that when I think of the Preds, I almost think of Delta Dental because of everything you guys do with them.
Yeah, we would love to know that that's the way people think. If everybody walks through the door thinks, well, you know, who is their partner? The first partner I want to think of is Delta Dental.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Let's head right now up to Portland, Tennessee, and bring in Kristen Daughtry from the Portland Chamber of Commerce. There she is. How are you, ma'am?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. All right, big weekend ahead. We're going to talk about a few things.
Yes.
The Christmas parade on Saturday. What an exciting time for Portland.
Yes. So this is always a fun event. Again, it's free, as many of our community events are. Just want people to come out and enjoy. You can see Santa. We'll have cookie decorating, Christmas crafts, photos with the Grinch, which is always fun, some food vendors and games, and then, of course, our Christmas parade.
Did you guys have a parade last year?
Yes, we actually did. We did have our parade in person.
Okay, good. Because, I mean, so I've hearing places that didn't have a parade last year are now having it, and it just means so much to the community to have this. Now, is that time correct, 5:30?
Yes. So our activities on Main Street will start at 3. So 3 to 5:30, come out and enjoy all the activities we have planned, and then the parade will start at 5:30.
Tell us about the activities there, Kristen.
So we've got, again, the visit with Santa, which we'll actually have in our strawberry crate, which is pretty cool. We'll decorate the strawberry crate to have some really good, pictures for Santa. Cookie decorating, we have a local church who brings all the supplies. Kids can decorate cookies. They can come make a Christmas craft with the Rotary Club. We just have a lot of different organizations in the community that come together to help us put this on.
All right, tell me about the Shop Local Passport. Did I say that correctly?
Did, yes. So one of your favorite places in Portland is actually on there. So you need to come grab some coffee and breakfast and get you a stamp. But how this works is until December 12th, anytime you dine or shop or visit one of our local participating businesses, you can get a stamp. And so what the stamp is an entry to win $500 cash, which is actually, we doubled our prize money from last year. So Old Hickory Credit Union, our sponsor for that, yes. And, we've talked about this before, Joe, but just it's so important to support our local businesses, especially the past, 2 years with COVID and everything that has happened. You've seen small businesses close and just really hard time with everything going on. And so we really wanted to just make a push this year to have people shop local, even if you're not from Portland. We have so many great places. There's actually 24 businesses on the passport. So you've got everything from restaurants to boutiques, Napa Auto Parts, if you need car parts or anything, there's some guy things on here too. It's not all girly stuff. Of course, Milo's we mentioned, Crest Winery. I mean, there's just a lot of great places. You can do your Christmas shopping, get some stuff for yourself, or grab lunch or dinner somewhere and get a stamp.
I love it. We have it on the screen to your left right there. We have all the information with the Shop Local Passport and the participating companies that are going on. Let me ask you this. In the lab, you talked about COVID and what it's done and everything. Have you seen, because I think I have, but have you guys seen a renewed interest in keeping things local?
Yes, definitely. I think that we have, I think people are starting to realize, like, your local businesses, they're the ones who support your kids' ball team. They're the ones who, donate if you have something you need. They sponsor activities. Like, your local businesses truly are the heartbeat of your community. And so I think people have seen it's so important to support them. We helped promote Small Business Saturday this past Saturday. And I took my daughter and we went shopping and tried to take pictures and promote as much as we could. It was really busy. There were people out everywhere we went shopping. The restaurants were busy. And so I think that's great that people were getting out and supporting local.
I think, and I've told you this before, I think Portland is a vastly underrated downtown community. I mean, because the little strip you have there with the lights and everything, it's just beautiful. And the train coming through. I mean, it's beautiful. I would never get tired of that.
Thank you. I mean, it's crazy the amount of people that you see. They come and take engagement pictures, senior pictures, family pictures under the lights on Main Street. Just have a lot of cool, besides the lights, a lot of cool murals and things people can see, just old historic buildings on Main Street. And it's a really special place.
And for those that don't know this, in my previous life, I did a segment one morning on TV at Harbin's Hollow. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. And because you love the community so much, you actually got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and came over there and made an appearance on behalf of the chamber. So I know how much you love your community. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. Our businesses are why the chamber exists. So we're always happy to support them.
Fantastic. All right. So let's recap. Parade, 3 o'clock is when all the kind of the activities begin, right? On Saturday?
Yes. Yep. 3 o'clock.
And then the parade, 5:30.
And then the parade will 5:30.
And that goes to about 6 or so, and then it'll be a fun day. All right, well, good. Well, I hope it turns out good. Hope people take advantage of the Shop Local Passport, Shop Local Passport. And again, I think you guys at the Portland Chamber do a fantastic job. Kristen, thank you. I know it's early, but thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Kristen Daughtry with the Portland Chamber of Commerce. Again, there's so many activities that happen this weekend. You have no excuse unless you're a Georgia or Alabama fan, because it's the football game on Saturday, to get out and support our communities and have a good time this Saturday. All right. We'll take a break. Come back. It's America's favorite game show, Celebrity Birthdays. That's next right here. Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around. I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir,
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now. Now.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of Mornings on Main Street. Before we do celebrity birthdays, I want to thank you, Janice Blanchett, for joining us with her book, The Star of the Lost. It's Twinkle. Susan Walsworth, the director of Miracle in Bedford Falls, starting Thursday at the Larry Keaton Theater in Donaldson. Miss Cheap, and of course, Kristen Daughtry from the Portland Chamber of Commerce. We just, every day, our goal is to bring you happiness, positivity, and things happening in our community that you might not know about to take advantage of. So that's the mantra for me in the end. Look at him. Hey, buddy. I didn't see you up right there.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going well. All right. So you got beat by Goolsby yesterday for celebrity birthday. So today's like a practice round. All right.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So first, celebrity birthdays, you got to get them within 2 years. And first up, he was in concert last night at the Ryman, Billy Idol. How old is Billy Idol?
68.
65. Actor Ben Stiller.
51.
He's 55.
Oh my goodness. We're getting close.
But you know what? We don't play that game.
No moral victories.
She is on the show The Big Bang Theory, Kaylee Cuoco. I don't watch that show, but
she's the blonde-haired girl, right?
yes. Well, I mean, according to the picture, yeah. She's a blonde-haired girl.
Probably 29.
35.
Oh, wow. She's really young.
Model Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, she's married to John Legend.
Correct.
36.
35. Intern's got one there. Not bad, buddy. You're getting better at this.
That's a
Not
good
really, but we'll go on. Let's see here. A lot of people never heard of today. Rapper Jalili of Houdini.
Total guess 31.
57. Singer, well, your favorite singer, Clay Aiken from American Idol.
You know, it's funny. My middle name is Clay. And so when I was growing up, I never told people that it was Clay because they always would say Clay Aiken. So, but it is Clay.
Oh, that's a
My
good
middle name.
story, man. You should have got that one earlier in the show today. Yeah, I would have, now, not to give you a clue, but Clay Aiken, I would have missed this birthday massively.
Well, I watched American Idol with my mom the year he was on it. So I'll try to do an educated guess here and say 41.
42. Solid. See, I tell people there is deductive reasoning for this game. Hey, can you put up Deborah's comment real quick?
Absolutely.
Maybe you can't.
Oh, that's it. Sorry.
You can't. Hey, Deborah, how you doing? That's all I wanted to get up there real quick. Let's see who else. Oh, Bo Jackson.
You don't know Bo.
Possibly the greatest athlete of our generation.
Agreed. Let's see. 58.
Perfect.
Really?
Dead on. No way. You rallied with 3 and you got the last one correct there. Yes. Well done. Hey, before we go, good job, buddy, with celebrity birthdays. Now, before we go, we also want to share with us a daily listing of today's holidays that are going on. Today is Giving Tuesday. It's this thing where you can give to your charities, give to organizations, and you'll see this going all around today, the hashtag of Giving Tuesday. So if you do have some money you'd like to give to an organization you've been meaning to give it to for a while, today is the day to do that. Giving Tuesday. Now, intern, if you go over to the right column, you see number 2 down. What does that say?
National Personal Space Day.
Yes. That should be every day.
Right.
National Personal Space should be every single day.
Do I not give you enough personal space?
Yeah, I just don't know where you are. And it really bugs me because I can't figure out. Yesterday you were in your basement and now I can't tell where you are.
I'm getting closer to you each day.
Stay away, please. That's personal space day. So stay away. Intern, thanks, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you, Joe.
All right. That's the intern. Again, thanks everybody for joining us today. Fun show. Another fun show coming your way tomorrow. And we'll leave you with this. Be nice. Open doors. Let people in traffic wave, smile. And always always, remember this, no one ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.